4, 3, 2, go.
We're back with another episode of Resilience Unscripted. This week I have my co-conspirator, Blake Rickerson, with me.
Word.
But this time we're doing things a tad bit differently.
Just a little.
What's the intro, Blake?
So, C49172, W53161. For those who don't know, those are known as con numbers. And these numbers were tags that we used wherever we went or moved about in the penal system, whether that be from one institution to another, to courthouses and back. That is what we use. And those numbers are forever with me. I still have the tags. Imagine that. And speaking of tags, at some point they had us wear them when we walked around. You had to have your tag with you, or you were not allowed to move about. You had to have those with you. So it's like walking up and seeing this, doing this is how that system was set up. So, I don't talk a lot about that or those days, but I have a lot of stuff. Like I have D reports, I have isolation reports, same thing basically. I have, when we sent to other institutions because of bad behavior. And when I think about it, I say to myself, it was so long ago. I'm about 61 now. And this was when I was a teenager, early 20s. So a lot has happened since then. But to share more into that, it was scary being new to that scene, looking at all of this, looking at this whole setup. And back then, every race dealt with their own race, and that's how that system was set up. Like if I went to the movie theater in one particular prison, if you were, oh yes, yeah.
Was this a federal?
Nah, this was state. You went to, if you were from Roxbury, you sat with Roxbury. You didn't sit with Mattapan or Dorchester. And that's how it was set up. If you were from Charlestown, you didn't sit with the Somerville crew, right, or the Medford crew. You sat with your crew, but y'all all knew where to sit. And that's how that system was set up. I witnessed a lot of ugly on both sides. And people that had some crimes that we didn't accept back then, I'm giving y'all some old language now. They call tree jumpers or skinners. That means that they were rapists and they got the worst of it, or baby blasters, people who were sexually abusing children. And they typically had to check in, or they were what was known, put the VIG on them, and we're going to charge them for whatever they have. And by charging them for whatever they have means that you got canteen, well, I want some of it. And you got a choice. You can give it up or you can go to PC.
Yeah.
That's just how it was. But the thing that messed me up the most was none of that. Is I worked in the kitchen and I got to see people that were HIV positive. That's what messed me up the most. Because I got to physically see what they looked like when they were on their way out.
Right.
They were on their way out, and I worked in the kitchen underground. So whenever they asked for something extra, I would make for sure that they got it. And when I stopped seeing certain faces, I would ask what happened. And the COs would say they're gone. And I was like, wow. So that always, I held that the most. It wasn't a good look as far as what I saw because of how it made me feel. I didn't understand what it was. I just knew that when I heard AIDS, I equaled that to a death sentence.
Right.
Period. No maybes, because that's what it was. When Rock Hudson came out, then Magic Johnson a few years later, and a few other popular people. But yeah, that was that life for me. And it was an evolving door, but one day, and of course, a lot of this evolved around drugs. And that false image of projecting something that you're not. And there were a lot of people that I admired and looked up to that did what they wanted to do. And I admired that swag, as we call it in the street. But I would watch these same tough men get beat down by the drugs. and I saw that, I says, wow, this is what this does to you. And it's what it did to me. So it was, okay, what are you going to do now at some point? And I was 38 years old. I says, I'm not doing this no more. I'm done. And I'm never, ever going back to it. And that's been the case for almost 23 years. Incidentally, every year that I celebrate, I make that proclamation that I'm never going back. In the beginning, people would say, oh, well, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. I says, well, my name is Blake. If I say it, I mean it. And of course, these aren't just empty words. This called for some action to be behind that. And so that's what it became for me every year. August will be 23 for me.